What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and we just received the great news that Vic Fangio is coming to the Dolphins as our defensive coordinator. This is a slam dunk hire. This is what all the fans have been clamoring for, and Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, and Stephen Ross executed and got it done, which is huge. So I'm going to break down the impact Vic Fangio is going to have. But before I hop into today's video, I'm just going to ask you guys, obviously the defensive coordinator search is now over with. Comment down below what kind of content would you like to see me make. I intend on doing some film breakdown and obviously free agency and draft, but if there's any other kind of content you'd like to see me make sure to comment down below. But like I said, Vic Fangio is a tremendous hire. He's been coaching since literally 1979. He knows everything from past to present, and he brings one of the best defenses in all of football to Miami in terms of scheme. Now he has Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Javon Holland, Zach Sealer, Bradley Chubb, and more players to deal with, obviously. Knowing this also helps us break down the future of personnel in terms of players we should re-sign, and then players we should let go, and then people to target in free agency, which is going to be a lot of the content leading up, obviously, to free agency, which is usually early March. But this is, like I said, slam dunk hire. Won assistant coach of the year for how good his defense was with the Bears, which ultimately led him getting hired to the Broncos, which he lost his job, but not due to the defensive production, obviously offensive. So now you pair a great offensive mind in Mike McDaniel with a phenomenal defensive mind in Vic Fangio. And one of the best parts about this too is literally this frees up Mike McDaniel even more. Obviously, I'm sure McDaniel wasn't too heavily involved in defensive meetings and game planning, but now this is pretty much makes him hands off. He does not need to touch Vic Fangio in his game planning. Vic Fangio knows what he's doing, and that benefits Mike McDaniel tremendously. And it honestly benefits Mike McDaniel even more because they can spitball on how Mike McDaniel can attack some of Vic Fangio's defenses, because Vic Fangio's defenses practically make up like a third of the defenses being run in the league right now. I mean, you look at the NFC Championship game, which is going on right now. Both play similar styles to Vic Fangio in a way. Not completely, that is kind of, but in terms of how they attack their coverages, they play a lot of match coverage and zone coverage, and that's the kind of defense that Vic Fangio is going to bring to us, and you see how this is performing. And then even the AFC side of the ball, I'm not too familiar with Lou Almirola's scheme, but I'm assuming that none of the teams really running right now are pure man teams like the Dolphins have been in the past, so this is a much needed change, and to get the godfather, so to say, the founder of this scheme is just the icing on the cake. Mike McDaniel does not need to worry about the defensive side of the ball in terms of scheme. So now he can focus on his offense. Fangio can lock in on his defense. We're talking about two of the brightest minds at their respective offensive and defensive sides, obviously. So this is going to be very beneficial to McDaniel and obviously the Dolphins as a whole. And we're going to see, obviously, benefits to specific players. Obviously, Bradley Chubb's been in the scheme, and obviously, that's good. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips spoke about how they're going to attack this offseason, but Bradley Chubb being in the scheme is going to be able to talk to Jalen Phillips about this and how to prepare for and what to expect. So I expect pretty easy transitions for him. I'll probably have another video breaking down the overall fit of specific pieces, like how does Christian Wilkins fit, how does Raekwon Davis fit, Zach Sealer, Jerome Baker, yada, yada, yada. Because I'm not going to act like I know everything. I still have to research some more of the scheme and to see how specific players will translate. Like, does Jerome Baker fit in the middle in this new defense? I'm assuming so, but I want to look into it even further. I just know it's a match-heavy defense, a lot of too high, make the offense take what's given and dink and dunk down the field rather than not a lot of big plays will be available. So, like I said, this is a phenomenal hire. I'm sure you guys are just as stoked as me, but I'm pretty much going to end it here. If you want to know more about the Fangio defense and whatnot, watch my video on breaking him down, which was the Dolphins need to hire Vic Fangio. That's a couple videos back on the channel. Make sure to check that out. I do a little more deep dive on Fangio's past and the defense that we run, but this is kind of more of just going over the hire and how huge it was for the overall team. And then I'll have a video on how the defensive personnel fits. But then after that, like I said, feel free to comment down below any content ideas. I'm going to do some film breakdowns of probably Wilkins and Jalen Phillips specifically. But like I said, also there's going to be a video on how the defensive players fit for this new defense. But aside from that, until free agency content comes out, I'm going to kind of be at a blank. So make sure to comment any ideas that you have. I appreciate you guys watching so much. It means the world to me. Check out the dolphinsdive.com for dope merch. And until next time, I'll catch y'all.